Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Foxworth Theory. I am your host, Eugenia Foxworth, and thank you so much for joining us today. This show is about entertainment, art, business, and fashion. And we interview the movers and the shakers from around the world, and we allow them to tell their stories. And today our guest is Rhea McCauley. Rhea McCauley is the niece of civil rights icon Rosa Parks, who after her courageous staunch against segregation in Montgomery, Alabama, had relocated to Detroit, Michigan in 1957, 2 years after the historic bus boycott. Miss McCauley has led the charge to have her aunt's house in Detroit be reconstructed for preservation's sake after years of abandonment. She partnered with a structure specialist and together had Miss Parks' house sent to Germany, where it was rebuilt and sent back to the United States for display in Providence, Rhode Island. Miss McCauley and her siblings are continuing to keep Miss Parks' legacy alive with a new documentary on her life and leadership, which is in the works now. And Soledad O'Brien will be producing it. Miss Rhea McCauley, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for asking.
Thank you. When did you realize that your aunt was a change agent and a true pioneer in our culture? At what age were you? You don't have to say your age.
That's a good question. Actually, I didn't realize to the degree that she could change people's lives until I was about, 50. Yeah, isn't that amazing?
That is amazing. You took the words out of my mouth. I use that word a lot now, so I did not want to say it. Now,
Open my mouth.
No, I said you took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
What do you remember most about your aunt, Rosa Parks? Tell us about this amazing woman.
You know what stands out foremost is the day her house was broken into. Auntie Rosa was exactly 90 pounds. Now, to tell you and show the world the strength of this 90-pound individual fighting, by the time I got over to her house, she had a bruise on her lip. She had a couple scratches, and I'm doing like this. This little lady fought off somebody that broke into her home. No fear. That was amazing, truly amazing, because I know some 300-pound men that could not do that. Absolutely.
That is something, but that's what she was, a fighter.
Yes, I said a mouthful there, and we could probably break that apart and develop it. But, for me, on a personal level, that right there said, oh, wow, there's nothing. If our children could learn, there's nothing they couldn't accomplish. Nothing. They would be unstoppable. Absolutely.
I agree with you. Now, how important also has it been for you and your family to keep your aunt's legacy alive?
And alive in the right way. This is the thing. Everybody has a way of looking at her and saying she's this. Oh, she's a mouse. She's quiet. Oh, you see what I'm saying?
Yes,
But
indeed.
family family, people that have been on this journey with her, we have a sort of different outlook. And because of that, um, I tell you, she is just truly, truly amazing. I want to be just like her when I grow up.
Me too. Me too. Have you ever asked yourself, why us, Lord? Why did this happen to our family? Or do you consider this a blessing to your family?
That's that's an excellent question. Um, I often wonder, why did this happen to us? But you know, when God chooses whoever he wants to use, me, you, anybody, he chooses them with a specific thought in mind. And we always say that the he'll take the most unlikely person to stand up and say, you know what? No, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to participate. This is wrong. And she had that spirit inside of her, which we have had so many instances, from Nat Turner to Septima Clark to Harriet Tubman, and we could go on and on with a list of people that just said, no, this is wrong. I'm not going to participate in it. I'm going to do this and this and this. Absolutely. So yeah, I'm very proud of her.
So am I.
Thank you.
How did you feel after you first saw the restoration of her home? Was it overwhelming? Did it bring back memories?
Well, I cried,
Mhm.
basically to see it, because the house had gone through a journey of a lot of drug usage. A guy had died on the front porch. These are people, property owners, after we lost the house as a family. So by the time I got to it, and the history of abandoned buildings, or people go in and they'll take the hot water heater, the plumbing, the anything. So by the time I got to it, and to see the way it was restored was absolutely interesting, but it was emotional as a family, as her niece. It was very emotional because I had left it one way. And after, me and my daughters cleaned it out, and to see it in Berlin, the artist's concept of it, it was it was good. It was good.
And
What a
I'm
challenge.
assuming,
Mhm.
yes, I'm assuming you gave him original photos that were taken that enabled him to do the restoration.
Yes, but who pays attention to me? I'm just kidding. But yes, I tried my best. I went all the way back to the 1940s and 50s to show him how the house looked when we were kids. What he did was take the original doors and keep the original flooring, the wood. The frame is new in the structure, but the original flooring, the doors. So, you can imagine Auntie Rosa was touching those, doors, opening those windows. So
Mhm.
yeah, it was very interesting to see another artist's interpretation, and yeah, it is art. It is, absolutely.
Yes. Now, how many times was the house moved and why? I mean, this is something that's puzzling to me.
It's puzzling to me as well, because like I said, who listens to me? I mean, when this artist looked at me, he says I'm a nobody and he can do what he wants. The house left the United States. It went to Berlin. Then it came back and went to Rhode Island. I had no idea how racist Rhode Island was. I was like culture shock. Auntie Rosa told us one time how this news reporter, he was very aggressive. And as the paparazzi, they're aggressive and they'll come up right to your face.
Mhm.
And she said it was a shock because she's such a good person, and had left her shaken. And she said she had a teacup and her hand was shaking so badly. Well, came back to Rhode Island. Then it left Rhode Island and went back to some country called Italy. So I'm just kidding. But what I'm saying is that we entered into a disagreement because Auntie Rosa is American hero. She wasn't made in Europe, in Germany or Italy or France or any of those countries. She belongs here. And so that was the disagreement. I said, keep it here. We can display it. We can have where the children can come and they can look at it and say, wow, look at this. This structure actually housed a personality like Rosa Parks. So there it sits in Italy, and we're in negotiations now to bring the house back to America. She's an American hero. It should have not have gone against my better judgment, my wishes. So I am looking forward to it. I've been in negotiations, and honestly, I can't wait to get it back. You know, the one thing that this artist said was that Black Americans don't love our heroes. And I said, you don't know Black people. We love our heroes. I can tell you from W.E.B. Du Bois to Dr. Martin Luther King to Malcolm X. I love them all. If they were in this room, I would be hugging and kissing and telling them thank you for your sacrifice to us, for us, so that this generation can live, can grow. Absolutely.
Well, the thing that puzzles me is, were you managing the house? The house was sold. I mean, I know so many things happen. So I'm just wondering, what happened?
It was
I'm
all
sure.
it was all a facade. I mean, they once it got to Berlin, yeah, I was in the process of making decisions and managing the house. But then as it left the United States for the second trip back over in Europe, I was betrayed by people that I thought were my friends that loved Auntie Rosa. I was betrayed by them, and they helped this guy actually steal the house and take it to Italy. That's what I call it. I call it theft. You know, if at any moment that someone on your team says, take another look at this, she's an American hero, let it stay in the United States. Every state that we have is not like Rhode Island or Brown University. You know, there are some good people here, good people, all ethnicities. And if they know about the journey of this house and the way it looks and how it can inspire people to have hope and do better with their own lives, let it stay here. But because I happen to be, you know, Black, and everybody felt like I was by myself, they could just do whatever they wanted to do. And so in the end result is that it went back over there. And yeah, I'm on pins and needles. I want the house to come back home. That structure should be in America. I want it displayed in Atlanta. That's why I figure that she would be most comfortable with Dr. King and Coretta Scott King. That's what I'm hoping. So I'm asking everybody out there to pray for us. Pray that that house finishes its journey until Rosa can come home and rest. Absolutely.
See, this is really a sad story.
Yeah, it is.
Because it wasn't like you let the house go.
No.
You were betrayed.
Yes.
And I can understand that. And it's the only ones that can betray you are those who are close to you. And did you have any attorneys working with you to fight this? Was there money exchange that these people, I mean, when you said Italy, I thought you were kidding me.
No, I'm very, very serious. There was no money exchange. There was a promise of money exchange, just a promise, and not on my part, on the artist's part. Um, when I was betrayed, I and these are people that are Black as well. Uh, I honestly, it knocked the air out of me because it came from left field. I didn't think that that would happen, but it did. And yeah, it is a sad story. And I wish I could get um, just to tell it and tell it in a way that Auntie Rosa would approve of, so that the house can come back. This is, mind you, this is all I wanted. I just wanted the house to be displayed, not in storage, which this guy kept it in storage for like 2 years. 2 years. And I'm like, what is the house still doing in storage? Well, I haven't had a way to display it. So I went to work, me and my team, we went to work to find a venue to display it. And he still said, no, that wasn't good enough. And of course, you know, him being white and me being Black, of course, he knows everything and I don't. So I just pray that that house returns to America. You know, people need to know, look, the house needs to come back. You know, if anybody could listen to my words and believe that she was American hero, America, the United States of America made her. She wasn't made in Europe. When I was in Germany, the people over there, yeah, there were people crying when they heard about her story and that, and they were very full of emotion because of what she went through as a tiny human being. But she wasn't made over there. She wasn't. She was made here. She belongs here. And when I mentioned these people that betrayed me, it came out of left field and I was shocked. And it took me a while to get over it. But you know what? Forget about that. We're in negotiations now to bring that house back. It belongs on American soil.
I am pleased to hear that. I mean, it's bizarre. It's not even, it's disgustingly bizarre. Those are
Yeah.
my words.
Thank you.
So tell me something on another note, because I'm tearing on the side
I'm
and
sorry.
I don't look good as a zebra, you know, this mascara. So what do you miss the most about your Aunt Rosa? What did she
Oh,
mean to you and your family?
I'm an artist and
Oh,
I'm an eye person. I love eyes and I love hands. I'm a hand person. What do I miss most about her? Her eyes.
mm,
She had the most beautiful, and then her eyes look Black. And I know that Black eyes are what they're really, really dark brown, but not Black. But her eyes stood out in her little face. They were like, I don't know how to describe it because we're talking about silver hair and we're talking about, this little kind of pale, tiny person. And those eyes just said, wow. And that's what I miss most about her. Um, I'm not the least likeliest candidate of my father's 13 children. I don't mind saying that because I'm being very upfront. I have some beautiful, gorgeous sisters. They're beautiful, they can speak well, they dress nicely. And I was the tomboy. I was always getting into trouble. I was getting whoopings. I was the one that everybody told on, and I would get whoopings for some of my brothers and sisters. But I this journey, I wouldn't trade it for anything. And that's what Auntie Rosa always said. In spite of the ulcers, in spite of the hard times, in spite of the poverty, I wouldn't trade a minute of this journey for anything. And I sit back and wow, there's a couple of things that I would in my own life, you see. But that is the moment that I was so proud of this great lady, and I'm still learning about her. And I think that maybe God just kept the family in a certain position so that when we were ready, when we were strong enough, that we could step out here and say, "Oh, you want to fight?" But this is his plan all along. I had to be strong enough to endure I'm trying to think of an adjective, but cooning. When somebody in your circle is, perhaps a little coonish, I had to be strong to endure that. I had to be strong to endure them taking my property to Europe. Again, I had to be strong to fight with people. And just like Auntie Rosa, when I know I'm right about something, I'm right. And I don't move from that point. I don't move from it. And so that is a beauty of her. Wow, if our children, our babies in kindergarten and elementary and middle school could learn that, what would they be? Oh my goodness, 30, 40, 50 years old, they would be unconquerable. That's what Auntie Rosa can do for the kids. That's what she can do for America. Again, give us hope.
And that's what she did for you.
Oh yeah,
That's why you're fighting.
I got a lot
How
of
tall are
whoopings.
you? 5'3"?
No, I'm not. I'm I think I'm about 5'6".
Okay. And you're tall. Well, on that note, we're going to have to take a short break, and we'll be
Okay.
right back with more of this very interesting story that I'm sure many of us are still in shock over. And our special guest, Rhea McCauley, will be back to continue.
Thank you for joining us on the Foxworth Theory. Be sure to tune in on Thursday at 9 p.m. on the Foxworth Theory Network.